Most people will tell you they want to be happy. They tell their therapists, their journals, and their best friends that they would give anything to let go of the weight they are carrying. But most people are lying. If you truly wanted to let go of the pain, you would have done it the moment it started hurting. Instead, you've nurtured it. You've fed it. You've revisited it every night before you go to sleep like a child checking on a favorite toy. I'm not saying this to be cruel. I'm saying this because until you admit that a part of you enjoys the grip, you will never be free. Today, we are going to look at the dark side of the letting go process. We are going to examine why your brain views your pain as its most prized possession, and why peace feels like a threat to your very existence. To understand why you are choosing this weight, we first have to look at the primitive hardware you are running on. From an evolutionary standpoint, your brain is a prediction machine. Its primary goal is to minimize uncertainty. Uncertainty, to a primitive brain, equals weight. When you experience a trauma, a betrayal, a sudden loss, a public humiliation, your brain builds a map around that event. It thinks, "This hurt. Therefore, I must keep this memory active at all times so I can recognize the warning signs if it ever happens again." Your brain is clinging to the pain because it has mistaken the memory of the fire for the fire itself. You are standing in a room full of ashes, but your brain is still holding the fire extinguisher, finger on the trigger, refusing to put it down because it's terrified that the moment it stops being vigilant, the flames will return. This is the first law of the grip. Your brain prefers a miserable certainty over a peaceful unknown. Peace feels empty. Peace feels unguarded. To your survival-driven biology, being at peace looks like being a target. But this isn't just a mental calculation. This survival mechanism manifests as a physical dependency that dictates your daily mood. Every time you replay a painful memory or obsess over a resentment, your brain triggers the release of a specific chemical cocktail: cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. These are the stress hormones. In short bursts, they save your life. But when you cling to pain for months or years, you become biochemically addicted to these chemicals. You have become a stress junkie. This is why, when your life finally starts to get quiet and peaceful, you feel restless. Have you ever noticed that? You finally have a day with no drama, and instead of enjoying it, your mind begins to scavenge for a problem. It digs up an old email, wonders if a friend is mad at you, or starts worrying about a hypothetical disaster. That isn't your personality. That is a withdrawal symptom. Your cells are literally screaming for their daily hit of cortisol. You cling to the pain because your body is terrified of the sobriety of peace. This chemical addiction is then reinforced by a psychological trap, an unwillingness to admit that your investment in this pain has failed to pay out. There is a concept in economics called the sunk cost fallacy. It's the reason people stay in the theater to watch a terrible movie just because they already paid for the ticket. They think, "I've already invested the time/money, so I have to see it through." Your ego does the exact same thing with your pain. If you have spent 5 years grieving a breakup, or 10 years hating your parents, or 20 years feeling like a failure, your ego has invested a massive amount of energy into that identity. If you let go of that pain today, your ego has to face a terrifying realization that all that suffering was for nothing. To the ego, letting go feels like losing the investment. It thinks that if it just holds on a little longer or thinks about it a little harder, it will somehow win or get an apology that makes the last decade of misery worth it. You aren't holding on because you haven't healed yet. You are holding on because you are waiting for a return on investment that is never coming. You are holding on to a stock that has already crashed to zero, hoping the market will magically reverse. Freedom begins the moment you realize that the ticket price is gone. You are never getting those years back. The only question that matters is, do you want to waste the next 5 years too? Beyond the fear of losing your past investment, however, lies the most uncomfortable truth of all: the practical advantages your pain provides you in the present. This is the part most people don't want to hear. We cling to pain because being the wounded one provides us with a series of secondary gains. 1. It provides an excuse for inaction. If I am traumatized or broken, I don't have to take risks. I don't have to try for the promotion. I don't have to date again. And I don't have to be responsible for my own success. My pain is my get-out-of-jail-free card for life. 2. It provides a source of connection. For many, pain is the only way they know how to get attention or sympathy. If I am the one who suffered, people check on me. If I am the peaceful one, I am left alone. 3. It provides a sense of moral superiority. Clinging to a resentment allows you to stay the good person, while the person who hurt you stays the villain. It's a way of winning a fight that ended years ago. You have to be radically honest with yourself. What are you getting out of your misery? What is the payoff for your pain? Until the cost of the pain outweighs the benefit of the story, the brain will never let go. If you are realizing right now that you have been using your pain as a shield, a drug, and a personality, don't feel guilty. Feel relieved. Because now we know what we are actually fighting. We aren't fighting your past. Your past doesn't exist. It's just a series of electrical impulses in your brain right now. We are fighting your addiction to the grip. To loosen that hold, we have to get honest about the unseen benefits of staying exactly where you are. To begin that clearing process, you must first document exactly what your suffering is buying you. Today, I want you to take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write down the one thing you've been clinging to the most: the resentment, the regret, the if only. On the right side, I want you to write down the payoff. Does this pain give you an excuse not to try? Does it give you a way to feel superior to someone else? Does it give you a way to get sympathy from your friends? Be brutally honest. No one is going to see this. The moment you identify the payoff, the brain's survival glitch begins to lose its power. You are shining a light on the cockroach, and it will start to scatter. In the next step of this process, we are going to talk about the cost of holding on. We are going to look at the hidden taxes your body and your bank account are paying every single day that you stay stuck. Remember, the payoff of your pain is pennies. The cost is your life. Decide today that your life is worth more than the story you've been telling. The weight is heavy, but the choice to drop it is, and always has been, yours. Until next time, wishing you love and peace.